Board of Trustees. It is Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Would you please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Would you let the record show, please, April, that Treasurer Carcone is on vacation and the rest of us are all present. All right, moving on to the approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Support.
Motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move on to the approval of the agenda, and I have no additions. I don't know if anyone else has any deletions.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on. Announcements and communications. Anyone have anything they'd like to?
I'll bring it up one more time. We have a May election, but only in Lyon Township is it for the Northville schools, which is precinct 7. So if you are in the Northville School District, there is a millage for a bond, and please feel free to contact our office if you do need an absentee ballot. That's what I got.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Both Robert and I attended the SEMCAG General Assembly I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they had their elections, and it's typically the same two representatives. Supervisor at Orion Township and Milford Township are our elected delegates for the township block in Oakland County. There's a lot of focus on green stormwater infrastructure there at the meeting, as well as some discussion on DTE and consumers, energy companies, and their less than adequate services within the areas. We talked to a couple different communities about it, and also the Public Service Commission, so there's going to be a bit more unified pressure to get both of those utility companies to better serve and upgrade the infrastructure.
Okay. Anyone else? No? All right. Go ahead. Do you want to explain that?
I forgot to bring the dates.
Okay. Well, because it's, when is it, June?
May. It's May.
The end of May?
Do you have the exact dates?
I don't have them in front of me. Anyway, we have a contract with Cadillac Asphalt, and Cadillac Asphalt, whenever they do any type of work that's government, it's in like a hurry, you know what I'm saying? There's deadlines. They have the right to work at night. And they have a few nights coming up. I think it's at the end of May, and I apologize for not getting the dates here, but it is sometime in May where they are going to work 24 hours. Right. I think it's 24 for a few days. So we'd like everyone to understand that they will be working a night shift. And there's really not much we can do about it. It's in their contract to do that. So, and I'll get you the dates, and I'll email them all to you, so if anyone asks, you guys can tell them, and it's coming up.
We can have Catherine post it on the website, too, for
Yeah.
the public, so that way we have that information.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to call to the public, where you can come on up and talk about anything non-agenda related. About 3 minutes, please, and give your name and address for the record.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cheryl Chuck, and I am the president of the Lyon Township Public Library Board. Tonight I would like to give you an update on our new library. At our February meeting, we approved a contract with CES for civil engineering. I would like to also report that the Library Board has approved a contract for architectural services and designs with Quinn Evans Architects. Quinn Evans is the firm that assisted us through our needs assessment in 2015 and helped prepare preliminary plans for the election of November 2022. We did send out RFP, which are requests for proposal, in December of 2022, with 4 architectural firms submitting proposals. After the presentation and in-depth process that was undertaken by the board to determine the best fit for the library, we are happy to report with Quinn Evans hired. We are ready to move forward with the design phase. The library board has formed 2 committees, one to work with the township on infrastructure and civil engineering, and one to work on the library design. Holly, our library director, will be in contact with Leslie Zawada and township trustees who will be working on the project as soon as we can begin the necessary meetings to get this project underway. Now, I have a question. Do you know which trustees will be working on the library project?
I think we'd have to form that committee. I don't think it's been talked about.
Is it the same ones as
I mean,
previously
it
had?
Oh,
was-
you want to use the same one?
I don't know.
Patty and I had been attending the
Is
meetings.
that
I
what you
don't
want to
know
stay
if
with?
anybody- I'm comfortable continuing with that. I don't know
I
if
guess that'd
anyone
be
else
fine.
wanted
So
to.
that would be Patty and Robert.
Patty and Robert?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the
And
update.
We're excited about
Appreciate
getting
that.
going on this project.
I bet.
Okay. Anyone else like to come on up? All right, seeing no one, I'm going to close call to the public and move on to reports. First report is our DDA. Amy?
Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
I will try to keep it fairly short because I know the general public is here for the fire department presentation and not mine. No offense. I just want to let you know I included my director's memo in your board packets this evening, but just a couple of highlights. Last month, I was able to attend the Michigan Downtown Association Spring Training and Advocacy Day. I had the opportunity to lunch with some of the local legislatures up at the Capitol and able to advocate for our downtown for some possible funding for some projects that are coming up and just get some introductions and share some information about our township with those individuals. So it was a really great event that's put on each year. I also had the opportunity to attend a virtual training put on by the Michigan Economic Development Association about EV parking. The DDA is looking at installing some EV charging stations on a future parking lot program, so it was a good opportunity for me to get some information on how to go about that, some best practices. I also just returned from a national conference for the Main Street Now organization, brought back lots of great ideas that I'll be discussing with my DDA board, and had the opportunity to network with about 1,900 individuals across the country that attended that conference. So it's a really great opportunity, lots of great information. Just to give you an update, the DDA board in general is currently working on a plan to update its vision plan moving forward. It's been outdated for a little while now, and it's really something that we want to tackle within the next year and a half. And we're also going to be looking at a redesign of our streetscape plan now that we have a few projects that we're moving forward with in regards to parking. We really want to take another look at what that original streetscape plan was, because we think there's some adjustments that need to be made moving forward. And then some other areas of interest. The DDA will be hosting its first annual Touch a Truck event this summer. We actually had a committee member that came forward and wanted to run this project for us, so it wasn't something that we asked for volunteers for. They actually came to us. We're going to be working with South Lyon Area Recreation Authority and with Lowe's. They're going to be hosting the event on site, so we're looking forward to that. It'll take place on July 23rd from 12 to 3. We're working with Oakland County. They'll have a climbing wall for the kids to take part in. We'll have a food vendor. And then we're reaching out to area businesses to get them involved, bringing trucks in that kids can climb on and look at. So anything that you think might be a good addition to that, please let us know or spread the word, because we are looking for participants for that right now. An update from the last meeting, we've had 3 new annual sponsors come on board. Lowe's, NLB Corp., and Robertson Brother Homes are all annual sponsors for the DDA this year. And then lastly, I included in your packets a copy of a flyer for our next DDA event, which is called Lion Rocks. This is going to be a scavenger hunt along the Huron Valley Trail. We have local businesses participating that are offering prizes, and we'll be painting rocks to hide along the trail during the week leading up to Earth Day. And we're encouraging families to go out, walk along the trail to search for those rocks that they can bring into the local businesses in exchange for prize baskets. So we're really excited about that. It's kind of our first opportunity that we've taken to get involved with the trail utilization too. So we're really excited. Any questions?
That's great, Amy. Sounds like things are moving really well.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to the fire chief. First of all, I want to say this is the safest I always feel when all you guys are here, and we have the lieutenant and the sergeants, and this is great. You guys need to come more often.
I am getting tired of dressing like this.
Hey, you look good.
Good evening, everyone. And earlier tonight, Clerk Cash swore in our 3 newest firefighters, and I'd like to just introduce them, I guess, formally here to the public. And if you guys would come up, they're supported by their family and friends from as far away as, I mean, the east side is pretty far, but I think the UP is a little further, and they came from a long way to celebrate this. So Jonathan Lee, or John Lee, if you would come up. There's no pinning when they first start, but just come on up, and I just wanted to introduce the firefighters. Tyler Wojniak. I got to try and keep the name straight because a couple of them I just and Brian Peterson. So these are our 3 newest firefighters. They have exhausted our list. This gets us to our number that we were shooting for in 23 with the passing of the millage. We were trying to get to 12 firefighters, 9 firefighters and 3 captains, and along with our administration. And this will protect the public now 24/7 with optimal manning at both stations, being 2 per shift, 4 on shift per day, but 2 at each station. And so I just wanted to thank these guys for joining our department and introduce them.
Well, by gosh, welcome to Lyon County. We are 3 times safer tonight.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys.
Congratulations.
All right.
I also wanted to take the opportunity at this time to present a couple life-saving awards. And these are, I do like doing these all the time if we can have the opportunity. And this time I'd like firefighter Tom Arnold and Oliver Sturos, the 1-month veteran, with now senior over 3 others, to come on up. On Monday, March 20th of this year at 06:53 in the morning, the Station 1 crew was toned out for a 67-year-old male having difficulty breathing. Firefighter Arnold and Sturos responded to the medical along with HVA. While en route, dispatch reported that the patient's status had changed from responsive to unresponsive. Upon our arrival, firefighter Arnold and Sturos began CPR, applying the Lucas machine, the AED, and administering oxygen. The patient's pulse was restored after 5 minutes of CPR. After HVA's arrival, both agencies continued treatment and patient packaging. HVA transported the patient to Providence Park Hospital, with firefighter Arnold and Sturos remaining in the back with the patient to continue care. One of the unique opportunities is when we get visited by the survivor. And today, the gentleman, his wife, brought him in, and that's our 67-year-old patient who has some sternum pain. And Tom apologized for that and blamed the Lucas machine. But what an opportunity for these guys to actually get to meet the person that they saved. And so with that, I'm presenting each of them with the life-saving award. And I shouldn't put other things in my pocket when I'm trying to present this.
And $50 each.
Well, Chief did say it was 6:53, or the truck can win anyway because we always come in early for the next crew. So,
What a great job, you guys. That's amazing. That's why we have great people.
And so Tom has received this before, and so he gets a star that goes on the life-saving ribbon, and Oliver is just getting started. So I think that concludes my report. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic, thank you. What a great report. All right, we're going to move on to the sheriff, Lieutenant.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
If you notice, I didn't walk in here, I kind of floated. Today I have good news. We're in possession of our Comfort K9. He's not here today, but we do have him. He's secured. His name is Georgie.
That's where Patty is.
I'm waiting for the formal introduction until she returns. But he's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. He's 9 weeks old, and he's a lovely dog. But again, I'll bring him here. Oh, Lisa did have an opportunity to sneak in today.
I did. Oh.
She stayed with him for about an hour, maybe hour and a half. I don't know. But he'll be back next month, and I'll introduce him to y'all. His handler's going to be, well, is Deputy Triffle. Triffle's going to be switched to a swing shift, so it'll be easier for me to get him up here at a 7 p.m. showtime. All right. Next up, we have our speed signs. Some of you may have noticed they've been deployed. Getting positive feedback. I'm still working on building a team to utilize the equipment. We lost one of our handlers. He moved on to another job. That happens. But I have a couple of good people with potential. I'm going to get them trained, and we'll see them all out and around the township. Now, the process for requesting that is still the same for the public. Anyone interested, please give us a call, 248-437-5600. They can request that speed sign for their subdivision to address any concerns they may have. My last update, and this is great news. If you recall the many school threats we had at the end of last year. So this is in reference to threat number 5 on November 3rd at South Lyon High School. It was a threat to blow the school up. A young man wrote it on the bathroom wall. We were able to develop a suspect from that threat. We narrowed it down to 9 people, and with the help of the MSP's crime lab handwriting analysis, we identified a positive suspect, and the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office issued a warrant. I can't share the young man's name yet because he hasn't been formally charged or arraigned, but I'll be able to do that after the hearing. So we look forward to that. And this should serve as a reminder for anyone considering doing this that it's not a good idea. It's a 20-year felony. It can totally ruin your life. And with that being said, that concludes my report. You have any questions for me? Anyone?
Great job.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
All right. Thanks. Bye now.
All right, the Planning Commission report. I don't know, Brian, you want to?
Yeah, I can take that on Patty's behalf this evening. In March, the Planning Commission held 2 meetings, March 13th and March 27th. At their March 13th meeting, they held a public hearing for the Verizon co-location that's on your agenda this evening and recommended approval. They also reviewed for the second time, a plan for a conditional rezoning off of Travis Road, just west of Milford Road. That will eventually come to the Township Board. However, they couldn't have a representative here this evening, so likely in May that will be before you. We also had some updates to the accessory structure ordinance that we will continue to work on and we'll hold a public hearing on in the very near future. So that will come to you this summer sometime. Then on March 27th, the Planning Commission reviewed a site plan for Zeal Credit Union, which would be at the northeast corner of the west roundabout here at Grand River, one of the outlots for Lion Crossing. That was ultimately tabled to go back to the drawing board for several items. So we also held some discussion on other text amendments that are pending for the Planning Commission. So I think that's all I have to report from the Planning Commission at this time.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Any questions? Okay. All right, Lise. What do we got?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Well, that was quick.
Yes.
All right, Dave, anything from building?
Yep. Thanks, John. Evening, everybody. February, our permits in February slowed down a little bit, which is kind of typical, but they have picked up in the last week, unbelievable, with the over at the Pulte Development, Devonshire's picked up, and I think I might have got 15 plans in for that development in the last week. It's kind of crazy. And then that Hutsfield 3 is ready to open. I guess it's already good to go. We've got through all the engineering requirements. And they've been trying to drop plans off for the last couple weeks, and we don't accept them until it gets through engineering. And also Woodlands, they're on 9 Miles, the same thing. They're permitted for they're 2 models right now, but they've been trying to drop plans off, and that's still there's just a couple of things to do, and they'll be ready to go. So we see it's going to get wind up and get busy again. Some of the bigger houses are going. Hutsfields are the medium-sized houses, so that'll be good. Then we did see some plans, I think I might have mentioned last month, from Hudson Town, so they're getting ready to go over there. So they're cleaning their lot up, and I think we'll see something, some roads going in there very soon, as soon as they get in there. And so as far as the building department, we are on the website. The girls have put together some deck and basement permitting requirements, which will make it easier for people to see what we're doing. And then also a pool information on there. And then as in every spring, we're going to be getting busy looking at grade work as they start finishing their yards and getting their driveways and sidewalks in and stuff like that. So we're going to keep busy. So thank you.
Wonderful. Any questions for Dave? All right, we're going to move on to water. Guess what, people? Are you guys ready for this announcement? We were approved for our softening on Thursday of last week. Eagle signed off. We have started the process to turning on the softening. We are going to run water through it this week. We're going to produce water the 17th. We're going to start adding chemicals. It's a hard day. And by the 21st, the public should start seeing soft water. This is a long time coming, people. Man, this was a good day for me. And when I sat down and talked to Artesian, and they told me 21st, 22nd is when you're going to start seeing the water coming, I was pretty happy. So now we have a date. We have an actual date. And it will be before the end of this month, guaranteed.
So I don't have to buy another softener.
Well, you don't have to buy a softener, and I'm hoping maybe not the salt either. Let's there's a process to this, because once it starts softening, we have to replace all the water in the tank system. We have to replace all the water in the piping system, which is a lot. That's a lot of water. We're figuring about 5 million gallons, maybe 6 million gallons will have to work through the system. But in his calculations, he's thinking 21st, 22nd, you'll start seeing blended water. So by the end of this month, I would think you guys could bypass your softeners, try it out.
Yes.
So that's
Are you interested in buying a lightly, gently used water softener? I've seen you after the meeting. I appreciate it.
Once, there is a thing that we are going to have to do as a township, and once the softening has started to take hold, we have to get some announcements out there to start eliminating the softeners from the system, because we don't need that sodium going to our sewer plants. So we have to start getting that out there. We'll put a flyer in the water bills and let everyone know in the next billing period that they can disconnect their softeners. And this is just a happy day in the township for me. You don't know how hard it's been to hold this until tonight, and even get through these announcements to get to this. I'm excited, and I hope everyone else is too. So that's it, and hopefully by next meeting we're going to be talking about soft water.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Okay? That's amazing. You too, Jim. You're going to have good water. You said you already have good water. Wait till this starts coming.
If I told you that I've already...
I know you have. I know you have. Every time. And I appreciate it too. Okay. No unfinished business. Moving on to new business. The Verizon co-location at 12 Mile Road special land use. And I know, Brian, you want to talk about that?
Thank you, John. In your packet tonight is our review letter of March 24th, outlining the special land use standards and the request for expansion of this facility. So this is an existing wireless tower at the southwest corner, well, near the southwest corner of 12 Mile and Napier on the Lion Sand and Gravel property used by Cadillac Asphalt. Typically, expansions to wireless facilities can be approved administratively. However, this facility slightly exceeds the floor area or the ground area permitted for that administrative approval. So we've gone through the special land use amendment process for the tower. The Planning Commission held their public hearing for the request, and really there was one question posed by the Planning Commission regarding how far away the facility is from the nearest residences, which are in Novi on the east side of Napier Road. The answer to that is about 320 feet from those homes. But the expansion area that is proposed here is an additional 14 feet by 30 foot area for ground equipment, and there will also be some new antenna placed on the tower. But in terms of the special land use criteria used for approving a special land use amendment, we have no major concerns from the planning perspective, and we follow the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve the request.
Okay. Anyone, any questions about this for Brian?
It's a co-location, so this is about as straightforward as it gets. The tower's already there, so
exactly.
I'll make a motion to approve the special land use request in AP 23-08.
Support.
Chris
Support.
gets it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're going to move on to the agreement between Lyon Township and Woodwind Glen subdivision to contribute towards road maintenance. We've been working on this with the people of Woodwind Glen for a while. And as you know, we've said that we were going to put a road through there to get them out in another way. Well, we haven't been able to bring that to fruition. So we went ahead and we've had some talks with the board over there, and we come to a pretty decent agreement, we think, for both of us. And I don't know if any of you have had a chance to go ahead and read through this. This basically is, we're offering to give the homeowners association $8,000 a year towards the maintenance of their road until time comes that we can figure out how to get another road in there. This is just to help them maintain the roads, and you know, we think it's a fair thing, and they did too. They already came out and signed it, and so I told them there's nothing we could do until this went through this board, and so this is here for your approval. We think it's a fair thing to do, and it's just open for your discussions. Carol's worked on it, Leslie's worked on it, Patty, myself. We've had several meetings with the homeowners here, and they all seem very happy with this. So it's open for discussion if anyone would like to know anything about it, or we could approve it.
I think we've had a pretty good working relationship with that group over the years, and the township's been really good as far as, you know, stepping up because of the, you know, shared impact that we have trucking, you know, in and out, the sludge hauling trucks every year. So I think this is certainly reasonable. And, you know, hopefully in the not too distant future, we have an alternate way of getting in there, because really, while this isn't, you know, more than just a monetary piece of it, it's just a disruption. There's already so much traffic with the school there down that road, I know. And when we do haul sludge, it's pretty significant. So it'd be great to find another route, but of course that's easier said than done. Yeah, right.
Believe me, that hasn't went.
And I know you are, because you and I have talked about that, so yeah. I can appreciate that.
Does anyone have any problems with doing this for them?
So these are private roads, just to make that.
This is a private.
Right, so there's no other maintenance than what we in that association would have to put in. It's not like it's a county road or anything.
This is just good faith until we figure something out. Anyone want to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the Woodland Glen subdivision agreement between Lyon Township and Windward Glen subdivision to contribute toward road maintenance, giving the supervisor and the clerk permission to sign.
Anybody want to support it?
I'll support.
All right, motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on. Request to grant the permit for the fireworks display for Walnut Creek Country Club. This is an every year situation. This should be an easy one.
Make a motion to approve the request for a permit for the fireworks display for Walnut Creek Country Club.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to replace the fitness equipment for the fire station. Chief, you got the next four of them, so you might as well put your standing shoes on.
Put Cheryl over there.
If you don't mind, or we can just approve real quick. Yeah, the fitness equipment is mostly donated by firefighters, and we just, the health, the risks associated with the career. Fitness is an important thing, cardio and weights, and so we are just looking to kind of get with the times and have the fitness equipment for on-duty crews or off-duty crews to be able to utilize. And so I've got a list of the machines. One is even the Stairmaster that is used for firefighter testing for entry-level firefighters, so that's something that they can train on as well if they're looking to come here career. And so we're looking at a total cost of $9,493.61. That was discussed during the budget session and would come from capital outlay. And I'll take any questions on that if there are any.
Okay. Anybody have any problems with this? Motion's in order, if not?
I'll make a motion to approve French Fitness for a total of $9,493.61 coming out of capital improvement budget 206-000-975.00.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Place carpet at Fire Station 1.
This is continuing from the tile that's been replaced in Station 1 and Station 2 in the training areas and some of the living area. The admin area has the original carpet from '01, and it's just nasty. I mean, it's just time to replace it, and that's why we went with this Sealy Group that has done the previous work, that has the state flooring contract, and that would be at the cost of $12,154.
Is the fact that they have the state contract, is that the reason that we didn't get other bids?
That's exactly why, yeah.
I can't believe we got 22 years on a carpet for a station that's used every day in all weather.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the last coffee stain or what it was that said we got to do something, so
Well, we hope it's coffee. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to say coffee.
Anyone want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion to approve to replace the carpets Fire Station 1 with Sealy Group Ltd. Lansing for the amount of $12,154.
The request is for $12,500. Is that accurate? Just if there's
It was
I'll
just-
support with a friendly amendment that number be $12,500.
Well, I will accept that it is a friendly amendment, Mr. O'Neill.
I mean,
Yes,
a somewhat friendly amendment if the record could reflect that.
Yes, and I did say the wrong number, so.
Okay, then you second? Do we get a second on that?
I think that was...
You second.
You got it with the friendly, somewhat friendly amendment.
With the friendly amendment, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on. New purchase of Chief 1 command vehicle.
Our current 2014 Chevy Tahoe has about 97,000 miles on it, and it's starting to have more maintenance issues. It's been a great vehicle, but it's also, part of our capital improvement plan, looking at replacing vehicles and not having them all occur, in the same 1 or 2 year period. So this was, most of the research was done by Assistant Chief Madeline. So if there's any questions that go beyond the memo, then I'll have him come up. But we were looking to go with something more functional. Instead of the Tahoe, we were looking at an F-150 pickup that also allows us to separate our gear to keep the chief, whoever it is, safer. And so this request was, with all of the graphics and lighting, we think we got a really good price. Again, state contract with of $67,035 coming out of the capital outlay budget again. And I'll take any questions.
A quick question. This seems like an extraordinarily old and high miles vehicle. I guess my thought would be, I hope we never have a car that has 100,000 miles on it that's 9 years old for a first responder. I appreciate that, like the carpet, you've gotten a tremendous amount of use out of it and it's been reliable, but I certainly think it should be replaced, and I'm glad you guys are asking. I do think it's a pretty good price for these days for what you're asking for. And I did have a chance to bend your ear and the assistant chief's ear. It seems to me that if you were replacing it for a like vehicle, it would cost several $1,000s more, and it was confirmed, though we don't have an exact price, to be somewhere $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 more if you were replacing a Tahoe with another Tahoe. So not only does it sound like you're going to get more utility out of this different type vehicle than you would traditionally be using, but it's also going to be at a lesser cost. So I think that should be stated for the record, because it's efficient use of taxpayer dollars, and I appreciate that. So.
That's a good point.
Okay.
What happens to the old vehicle?
To be determined, I guess. There's nothing has been decided. We've kicked around the idea if when firefighters are going to training or school, that it could take a kind of a place of like a pickup truck where it can get people to and from. But unless if the township has a plan and wants to do something, that's fine. But I would still probably utilize that if everything's running fine. So, but it's to be determined.
Okay. Anyone else?
Make a motion to approve the request to replace Chief 1 command vehicle with a 2023 Ford F-150 Responder Edition vehicle at a cost not to exceed $67,035. And that would include the upfitting from Priority 1 Emergency and graphics from Magic Graphics.
Do we have support?
I'll support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Moving on. Approval to adjust fire marshal pay.
So this may seem a little unusual, but it really is just about taking care of the position. We've kind of had a revolving door of firefighters in and out, and that's going to happen. That's happening in every community. When we secure a fire marshal that has been such a tremendous asset, and I think I'd get the support from the building department, the fire department definitely, and I think the business community. This is just, to me, writing I don't want to say a wrong, but just something that puts him on par with other fire marshals in the area, and I would like to consider placing the fire marshal at the captain's salary, which would be an adjustment of about $5,200, and that is all based on the contract. But he has just done such a tremendous job, and when we look at comparable communities, I think we want to make sure that we keep solid employees, and I think this would just be a pretty small gesture to do that, and yet a big gesture.
Can I just ask you
Sure.
a question? I thought we have an agreement with the union, so how can we just adjust the salaries? I guess that's where I'm confused.
Okay,
I just
so-
feel like it'll open up a huge can of worms for the rest of them. I mean, your contract is up next year, correct? At the end of next year? So why couldn't you wait for that time to do that? As long as you feel it's not going to totally upset the apple cart and you won't get in trouble with the union.
No, so it's, we can come up with, that is an option. The letter of understanding, is the LOU, is also a very common thing. So we can, if we found a safety issue or if we found some other issue that, I'm having a few issues like with their sick bank. But if we wanted, either side can open up the contract and discuss and correct, as long as there's mutual agreement. But this has no bearing on, what a firefighter makes or what a captain makes. It's basically an understanding that we come to an agreement that we say, this is agreed to for the fire marshal, that they will be at the rate of a captain instead of where they're at now, just barely above a firefighter. And that's where, so it doesn't jeopardize, and Carol, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I don't think it doesn't jeopardize. I've been on the other side with the union and this side, on the bargaining side, and letters of agreement or understanding happen a lot.
So that's what you'll have to do once you get our approval. You'd have to go ahead and ask them.
Yep.
And what if they say no? Then it's
the union?
It is what it is. Yeah.
Then it would shut down, and then it would be negotiated, or whatever negotiations occur in 24 would just happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the only problem. Oh, you want to go ahead? Go ahead, Robert.
No, I was originally going to ask, just to clarify, that this position is covered by the union.
It is. And I also should add that he did not ask for this. This was not something that he presented to me or complained about or anything. This was just, I think we've got a real good administration in place, and I just think this kind of solidifies it.
I think the only place that I'm just concerned about is we stipulated it out in the contract as fire marshal pay, and we went through the same process as we did on all the others. I'm just kind of concerned, this was just a fairly new contract, and I don't know, we have fire marshal and we go right down the road on, how we do that. I just know that unions watch for things that are unordinary, and I don't know how that would affect. I don't know. And you say you could get through that, but I don't know.
Well, I think it shows good faith as well, because there were some contentious issues, and so we are improving a union position. But again, I think getting it to a scale is, where it needs to be. The state average is $73,520. That was from February 27th in a salary.com, and that was for the state of Michigan. Our neighbors are making more in Milford, Walled Lake, and other communities. And I'm not trying to make it equal to that. I'm trying to just put them on scale to where I think they are. They are at the rank of a captain in a lot of departments. Sometimes they're higher than a captain. And this would just be putting them on parity with the captain. And but I don't have any fear of the 24 negotiations, because I think we can't be accused of hostility when we kind of fixed this, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Anybody?
I guess, assuming we do go forward with this, you have it noted as minus 2 months of 2023. I guess if we do go forward with this, to me, it makes more sense to not backdate it, since it is a change above what was already agreed to and accepted by the person in the position. So I would say if we do apply it, it should just be going forward from when they approve it.
That's fair.
Anyone else?
What your proposal was to go forward from here, right? I think
yes.
Makes a good
So
point,
that would be adjusted basically minus 3 months, correct? That we would subtract 3 months if it went into effect, but
you're looking to establish a new rate of pay, an annual rate of pay. So whatever that means, it starts on the next pay period and moves forward at that rate of pay. That rate of pay equals an hourly wage, right? So that's how you would just So there's no back and forth?
Right.
It's just, okay.
Just going forward.
So the wage is the wage, but it just won't hit the budget that much for that amount, I should say, because it didn't begin at the beginning of
Correct.
the year. It begins in April,
If
let's
it's,
say.
yeah, if it's April, May, whatever.
I will say I have, and I don't know if it's just the fire marshal or if it's other people in your administration, but I have noticed a nice, a new checklist for the fire safety reviews and stuff when items have come before us in front of the planning
Yeah.
commission. That's probably been going on for maybe a month or two, but that I've noticed, and I really appreciate that. So I can see that there's stuff changing and things are going in the right direction here.
Yeah, and
I guess I don't really have an issue with this.
I appreciate it. And these were a couple reports. You know, he had dropped a report on my desk, and I asked him what this was, and it was an inspection report for the month, and showing 47 inspections here and 51 in this month, and it's just really raised the standard of our Fire Prevention Bureau and our professionalism, credibility, and I think it's.
And I'll tell you another thing is I will vouch for how good he is. I mean, he's always coming in. He's always keeping us informed. And I mean, I've seen Bruce more than I've seen any fire marshal we've ever had. In all the time they've been here, I've seen him more. I mean, he's on the ball. I'll give him that. He's pretty darn good. I mean, we are pretty lucky to have him.
Yeah, he does bring 30 years of experience, so that helped.
Super nice guy, too.
Yeah, he
really is.
Which is important for that position, dealing with the public.
So, does anybody want to move it?
Oh, yeah, sorry, just one more curiosity
yeah,
thing.
please.
Obviously, increased inspections and all these things are great in and of themselves, but is that one of the metrics that feeds into like our ISO ratings and things like that?
Sure, oh, definitely. And the fire prevention we scored 3 out of 9 points in our last ISO inspection. So the fact that we not only add the full-time positions, the ladder truck, but also when we have the documented inspections and plan reviews, that definitely helps our ISO, because we do want to bring them back, hopefully this year, and hopefully get to a 3 instead of our current 4, which we're proud of, but 3 is better.
Okay.
I can make a motion to approve the fire marshal pay salary based on the March 16th, 2023 letter to the board.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
All right.
And just for clarity, then, are we going to set a date, like,
You want to start April 15th or May 1st for the salary?
Whatever the next pay period is.
okay, thank you.
All right, so we've got our next item is a consideration to purchase an F-554 dump truck with a Boss V-plow for our maintenance department. And as you can see, we were lucky enough to find one in stock. We put a $500 deposit on it, but it is refundable if the board chooses not to purchase it. But we got a 550 truck. I don't know if you read through this. $97,000, which I think is a pretty good price, and it's in stock.
That includes the plow.
Includes a plow. It includes
Plow and strobes.
all the strobes and the plow and the dump bed and it's I think it's an 11-foot dump bed. It's not a 9-footer, so
Drop down
a little bit
side.
bigger wheelbase. And you can see they gave us government pricing too in there. They gave us $3,100 off, which is unheard of right now.
It is.
You know. So we thought that was a pretty good deal. We did talk about ARPA funds, and ARPA funds can pay for this truck and can also pay for all the equipment that we okayed. So we had about 850,000 was left in the ARPA funds, so we thought that'd be a good place to get this. This is
We
like,
also had put in case, in the maintenance department, under capital improvement, we'd also put 100,000 there.
yeah, but I don't think
Yeah.
we'd need that. I think we could use the ARPA funds for this, but again, that's... So this truck is sitting in stock. They could pick it up if you guys approved it and could get this place rolling. We're looking at I think Derek has told me he'd like to start getting some of these roundabouts mulched up and some things that he could start, and with that truck he could start doing that. I don't know if have you guys seen the truck logos on the trucks now? Yeah, you should look at them. Derek's got all the trucks logoed up now. They look real nice. He's got the trailer. We picked the trailer up, and all the equipment came in that we approved into Weingart's. Did you pick that up yet?
Picked up most of it. We're waiting on that mark. It wasn't quite ready. It'll be delivered tomorrow.
So if we get the truck, I mean, we're ready to rock, and that's really good stuff. So, did you have a question?
You partially answered it there, I guess. I was gonna say, just so people get an idea of, what the benefit of this is, the kinds of things that we could see using this for.
Oh my gosh, benefit! I can't believe we've worked this long without one. Really. I mean, it's really going to be an asset to the maintenance department that actually we're forming.
I think more surprising than the price, even though it sounds like a lot of money, I'm surprised it's less than $100,000. More surprising is that it's sitting in a dealership with a deposit on it waiting to go, because availability is such a huge issue.
It's really amazing, really. I mean, we couldn't believe it.
Well, when we talked about this at the last regular meeting, the discussion was we can get a lot of this stuff now, but we would maybe be lucky to get this truck in the fall and be ready for winter. So,
yeah, it was crazy. I can't believe we found it. So that's in front of you. Anybody like to make a motion to purchase the truck, or?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a Ford F-550 dump truck with a not-to-exceed amount of $97,073, which includes the plow and the strobe lighting.
Okay.
I'll support.
So we have a motion and support. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Perfect.
Hey, John?
Yes.
Quick question.
Yep.
And I know, Derek, you're new, but generally when we make a purchase like this, we bring it to the next available meeting when it shows up. The fire department's used to doing that, and the sheriff's department's done that with some of the acquisitions. So would it be possible, if you're going to be at the next meeting, to have the truck and the trailer just kind of here, so whoever shows up can take a look at what's been purchased?
Yeah, I'd love to bring it up here.
Okay. That'd be great. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That's really a good idea. That's
John,
really a good idea.
And I'm sorry, I didn't specify, you had asked that this come out of ARPA funds.
Yes.
So I guess I would amend the motion I made, or clarify that my intention was to make a motion to approve this using ARPA funds as recommended by the supervisor.
Okay.
My support still stands.
Thank you, Lisa.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thanks, Sean. Thanks, appreciate that. All right, we're going to move on. Resolution approving opting in to the national opioid litigation settlements with CVS, Walmart, and Allergan? Okay, Allergan? Allergan.
Yeah.
And Teva.
Do we have plans for what to do with our windfall profit here?
There's not much.
So I know the requirement is to use it for opioid prevention, but and obviously this is more money than most people walk around with in their pocket, but it's only $6,500 for our community, roughly. Is there something, it seems like the county, I don't know if the sheriff's department knows anything. It would be great if all these communities are opting in, don't have enough to really do much on their own. Is there some thought maybe at the county level to appoint someone or some department to kind of take the lead? Because I'd be happy to take this money and move it into kind of a bigger umbrella at the county level where we can pool potentially other municipal resources, like from all the other communities are going to get $6,500, $7,500.
Yeah, because we don't have a clinic.
What are we going to do with it?
All I could think of was like purchasing more Narcan or something, but I don't know.
Okay.
You get that free now, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's not spend this on it.
That's what we do now.
Okay.
You what?
If they state that they have a problem, they're not allowed to arrest them. We take them down to get help. So, Rise to Recovery is what the program is called.
Okay.
Rise to Recovery.
Carol, does anyone else that you know of do anything other than,
it seems like the county's got something, they've got more people than they know what to do with. They love big government. The county's got all these departments. They got thousands of people working down there. It seems like they should have like an opioid czar to collect everybody's $6,500 and actually do something meaningful with it than instead of reimbursing fuel costs and buying, Narcan. I don't know. I mean, that's more like death prevention instead of opioid. I don't know. It just
Treatment instead of
yeah.
prevention. Sure.
If you could ask big government to figure something out and let us know if they want our $6,500 because I don't know. Yeah. Thanks.
Well, you want to opt in?
I guess.
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-10, opting into the National Opioid Litigation Settlements with CVS, Walmart, Teva, and Allergan.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we have the resolution to authorize the West Nile reimbursement 2023. This is another every year pass-through.
Yep.
Is there normally an amount though?
Well, that's $3,000, right? Did she
No,
didn't put
it's
it
a
in?
little bit more than that.
Like $4,200.
Yeah,
42
$4,200
now?
this time, because our population went up, so we qualified for more packets, and this time they're going to give us some spray also. So our budget is a little bit over, or under, I'm sorry, by I think $100, $110 we were short, but it's all reimbursed, so it's an in and out.
I see it's worded to kind of just cover whatever we get, kind of
Right.
reimbursement for whatever we get. I just wasn't sure if
Yeah.
is the dollar amount usually. I feel like the dollar amount has been in this resolution.
It
in
might
previous
have been.
years.
I don't know.
Who made these up?
Well, it's usually
Melanie?
Melanie does this one, so yeah, but she did.
Well, it's always usually about 3,200 or
Well, now it's
3,300.
41.
It went up this
Yeah.
year. I sat in on it, and it went up this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's based off population, and then you buy these things and pass them out at DDA functions and things like that.
Yeah, anything in the
You get
park.
reimbursed by Oakland County.
Yeah. So if it's approved, then we'll go ahead and get the invoicing, and we order them, then they invoice us and then pay the bill.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2023-11.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, well, that wraps up our agenda. Anybody like to comment or talk about anything else before we adjourn? Seeing no one, we'll adjourn. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming, guys.